Dark Triad boys. I got the outfit, got the hat, put in the earrings, haven't worn them for a fat minute. What is Dark Triad? What are the types of Dark Triad? How do you get Dark Triad? Where does Dark Triad come from? That is what we're going to be approaching today. Okay, so first of all, I wrote some notes to help me down, you know, trying to be a little more professional. What is Dark Triad? Well, Dark Triad man is a person who, because of difficulty in life, I would say, traumatizing upbringing, maybe they were bullied a lot in school, abused. It could be from a toxic relationship that they gain the Dark Triad traits, so to say. And I don't mean like your mama puts tomatoes in your salad instead of a cucumber and you go on a little rage moment. That's not what I mean by trauma. Nowadays, men are obsessed with being Dark Triad, okay? Wow, it's so cool and edgy. I'm gonna get all the pussy. No, that's not the way it works. What are the types of Dark Triad? I would say I can fit it into 3 groups. Number 1 is the cringe, edgy, weirdo Dark Triad. The little high school teen that thinks it's cool because he saw some edgelord in an anime or in a movie and he wants to be like that guy, so he dresses all edgy thinking it will attract the girls. No, it will do the exact opposite, okay? The second one is another cringe Dark Triad trait guy, although it does attract girls, and this is the guy who was actually traumatized, was actually broken. Maybe he was whooped by his dad as a boy, so he has all that pent-up anger. Maybe he has toxic situations, comes from a single mother household where she didn't do a very good job. Maybe he had a relationship that really liked a girl and she broke his heart, she cheated on him, it was really nasty. So we did get some of those traits. But instead of overcoming, instead of letting it heal and accepting it, they became bitter. I have a little example right here. What do? So now, it's determined by how a man handles his trauma and pain. One dude gets beat as a kid, he ends up beating others or his partner. Meanwhile, the other dude gets beat as a kid, learns to accept, forgive, move on, go to the gym to vent and treat others in a loving way instead of continuing the chain of toxicity. One dude gets cheated on and abused in a relationship and has his heart broken. Then he becomes a toxic, promiscuous, heartbreaking piece of shit to some poor girl who maybe doesn't deserve it, which literally continues the cycle. Meanwhile, the other dude understands some people are immature, some people are insecure, and some are just straight up evil. He moves through the pain. He achieves inner acceptance. He ascends and is smarter and stronger in the next relationship and understands the red flags to be ready to avoid them, but is still loving and truthful and sincere with himself. You see, boys, life is made out of the outcomes that we react to. Like, life is made of the outcomes that happen based off how we react to the situations life throws at us. That's the way I'm gonna put it. You may be born with a shit hand, okay? A lot of you are born with a shit hand. Maybe you were born poor, maybe you were born ugly, maybe you were born both, that's a pretty big mog. Maybe you were born in a bad family, in a broken family. Most of you aren't, I would say, but a lot of you are. You at least have one of those things. And the way you react is gonna determine how your life's gonna go, okay? If you're a teenager especially, I want you to hear this. You come from a broken house, your parents are divorced, there's a lot of toxicity. You can't let that completely determine how your outcome will be, okay? Because a lot of the times when parents have shit relationships, the kids end up having shit relationships themselves. That's why you have to do the inner work, okay? You have to come to peace, you have to come to acceptance of the fact that some things are out of your hand and not everything is your fault. You have to understand the outcomes are your fault based on how you react to things, but the cards you're dealt aren't. Though you could change it to a certain extent, okay? So Dark Triad is pretty cringe, I think, the whole Dark Triad thing. Dudes, the third option, which I didn't say, is the non-cringe one, which is dudes who did have pain and trauma and hurt in their life, so they got that edge. They're not as trusting of people maybe, but they're still authentic to themselves. They're not super edgy. They do have a strong frame and a strong character, and they're more careful and they're more aware of red flags, which is actually a wise thing, but they don't let it determine how they treat people, okay? I got a comment, someone asking me to go into depth about Dark Triad and stuff like that. So that's why I specifically made this video for you, brother. Shout out to you, you know who you are. And I've received in the past other ones. Mandy, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to make a video! The fuck is this guy being so loud? Mandy! What are you doing?
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! You're
Fuck you, buddy!
disgusting!
60%
There's nothing to say! I hate you!
That doesn't make sense.